Hello, welcome to another video. This time I will show you how the Pico W controller PCB works with the potentiometer. I will show you the setup, the demo, and explain why the solder balls caused issues with the potentiometer and how I will fix that in the next phase. As usual, I will link the Medium article and GitHub repos in the description. Let's get started. So the setup is the same as always. However, we will not be using the code to control the LED, as the solder balls have prevented the potentiometer from working properly. I will fix that in the next phase of the design. Now, in the previous video, which I will link in the card above, where I showed you the board, what ended up happening was I soldered too much to the point where solder balls formed behind the potentiometer. This prevented the potentiometer from reading the values properly. And while it still works, this did cause issues. So in the next phase, I will make sure to use the correct amount of solder. So that's why we will not be using the LED in this case, for LED brightness. The only code we're going to use is the PWM value code in the Raspberry Pi. We're just going to be reading values from the Pico. And on the Pico, we're using picopot.py. And that's it. It's the same code that I've used before. And that's all we're going to be using, because the goal here is just to make sure that we can read potentiometer values. When I do fix the potentiometer, we should be able to do LED brightness control in the next phase. But for now, we simply just want to read PWM values. So let's just get to the demos. Alright guys, so as you can see, the LED is blinking on the Pi, and the potentiometer is sort of working. But as you can probably see, the values are wildly inconsistent, and that's because of the solder balls. So I have to push the potentiometer a little bit, and you can see it is working when I push the potentiometer. And it does work. It's getting to the values that I'm getting to. Okay, so now it's at 1. And as you can see, it is working as expected. However, as I mentioned, I had to push against the potentiometer just to get anything to run. And this is why I won't be using PWM control with LED brightness, because of the solder balls. So let's just exit out of this demo. Alright, so I'm going to exit out of the Pi, and that's it. So we were at least able to read PWM values mostly, but again, these solder balls behind the potentiometer did prevent it from working properly. However, we can say it's mostly a success. And that's it for this demo. So that's it for this video. Now, there are still issues to resolve regarding the potentiometer, but as you can see, it mostly works. We will wrap up this series with button control, and I will draw some conclusions at the very end of that video. So, see you next time.